Good day, ma'am. To formally start the discussion, first, let us introduce ourselves starting with me. Hello, I am Lillian Rose S. Abuan.
Hi ma'am, it's Jambers Aurelia from BSBA 2C.
Hello, I am Erica Marie A. Amboni.
So hello everyone, my name is Julian Mario Biroldoda.
Hi, Mom. I am Rachel Eduardo.
I'm Kian Gonzalez from BSBA 2C.
Hello, I am Seva.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Charis D. Kasugay.
Our topic focuses on the nine characteristics of good governance, which are number one, participation, number two, rule of law, number three, transparency, number four, responsiveness, number five, consensus oriented, number six, equity and inclusiveness, number seven, effectiveness and efficiency, number eight, accountability, and number nine, strategic vision. Participation. As per the term itself, participation means an act of participating or taking part in a certain activity. Participation is a significant step for mobilizing people to participate in the decision-making process. Through the active and equal participation of civil society in decision-making, their opinions are heard and it matters. Thus, it can be contributed in decision-making process. It is for all citizens with an involvement, regardless of their gender. All men and women have the freedom of expression and speech, for all are created equally. Each voice of a citizen greatly matters to express and show their participation in the society or in an organization. Participation can be direct or indirect, and it needs to be informed and organized. It means that participation can be direct or indirect through legitimate representation. But when it comes in deciding, the legitimate representative democracy does not certainly prioritize the needs of the most vulnerable. On the other hand, in order for the citizens to participate, they must be informed and organized. It allows individuals and groups to engage in the opportunity to influence, inform, and evaluate decisions and actions. Informed in the sense that there must be freedom of expression and association, while organized in the sense that things are put in the right places accordingly. There are three words to connect with the word participation, which are participate, united, and fairly. First, participate. Participate in the activities and get along with others. Your opinion and decision matters. Second, united. United as one to form a good relationship with one another for a particular purpose, and that is to participate and engage oneself in an activity. Last, fairly. Fairly approach to all individuals regardless of their gender preferences. What's important is their viewpoint and recommendation for the society or for an organization. To end my discussion on the first characteristic of good governance, let me tell you this. The essence of good governance is the participation of the citizens. Thus, to enable the practice into action, one must partake to achieve unity. That would be all, and God bless us everyone. Stay safe and goodbye.
One characteristic of a good governance, the rule of law. The rule of law means boards should be fair and impartial in their collaboration and in their decision making. Legal framework should be fair and enforced impartially, particularly the law on human rights. Good corporate governance requires board to act ethically, honestly, and with the utmost integrity, protecting human rights and civil liberties of all citizens, particularly minorities. From the word rule of law means that everything must be done according to the law. It means that good governance requires legal frameworks that are enforced impartially. It also requires full protection of human rights, particularly those of minorities. It should be respect the rights of individuals under the law. Law are enforced equally and impartially. No one is above the law and everyone under the authority of Constitution is obligated equally to obey the law.
Hello everyone, I am Erica Marie Amboni, and I will be discussing one of the good governance characteristics, which is transparency. From the word transparency, it clears the information or quality of being done in an open way without secrets. Transparency is a build on free flow information, for it facilitates an accurate and well distributed movement of information between individuals and the system. Processes, institutions, and information are directly accessible to those concerned with them, and enough information is provided to understand and monitor them. This means that the information should be accessible to the person who will study the report and clear enough for them to comprehend as well as monitor a specific transaction and others in order to make a decision. Examples of transparency. In the corporation, the financial record should not be inflated or exaggerated, and it should be presented to the shareholders and stakeholders in a way such as they can understand and interpret the findings. For the stakeholders should be informed of whom the contact is that can answer questions and explain reports. If necessary, corporations should provide enough information in their reports so that the readers can get a complete view of the issue. Overall, transparency helps us comprehend the basic risks involved in making decisions in the matter that follows the rules and regulations, avoid misunderstanding and conflict in our workplace.
Responsiveness, institution, and process under a topic. Good governance responds to the needs try to serve all stakeholders. Countries are made up of states and usually different ethnic groups and responds to public calls by all government. Institutions should be free of bias along ethnic lines. Response is sensitive to matters to do with fairness and maintenance of peace. For example, we all know that a certain country or state needs a governing body. For a reason, that country cannot stand alone without the management of different branches of politics. In addition, to that is not enough also to have government, but we need also to responsive and a role model people who will govern this certain country. A government should have a respect to all the masses and especially to cultural diversity or different cultural background and government and also there should be a propagation of fairness, justice, and partiality. Now, conscious orientation is a public secret that alternative views exist everywhere, even among people of the same group. For example, the same political party, this means for government it's even more important to stay woke and approach alternative views critically. Good governance mediates differing interests to reach abroad continuously on what is in the best interest of the group and where possible of policies and procedures. For example, the good governance is policies the rule of law, a principle of governance in which all persons should be treated equally, being fair to the people, especially the poor. We all know here we are aware that sometimes the richest are the who achieve a fair justice. But when it comes to the poor people, sometimes they didn't achieve the justice. So into that case, where is human rights after all? We should be treated fair even if we are poor or rich.
Hi ma'am, I am Rachel Albuado and I will be the one to present what is equity and inclusiveness. So let us define first what is equity and inclusiveness. Equity and inclusiveness defined that all men and women have opportunities to improve or maintain their well-being. A society's well-being depends on ensuring that all its members feel that they have a stake in it and do not feel excluded from the mainstream of society. This requires all groups, but particularly the most vulnerable, have opportunities to improve or maintain their well-being. So what does it mean? It means that every people inside or outside the organization in our society or in the workplace, there's no discrimination existing. There must have an inclusiveness, equity, fairness, or access of the opportunity. So that is very much important that all men and women have the opportunity to improve. If you are men and women, or even you are bisexual, gay, or transsexual, or whatever gender orientation you have an opportunity or you have an equal opportunity. You should not be excluded in a group or outcasted in a group. You should be inclusive. There should be an inclusivity and equity, fairness treatment in the society. It is very much important also that every leaders, every bosses knows how to treat their employees in a good way. As we all know, we have a different perspective in life. We have a different cultures, traditions, religions, thoughts, ideas, and feelings, experience that we had in our past. So all we need to do is to accept, embrace the cultures, traditions, religions, embrace the diversity, respect each other. That is very much important to have a better, effective way of managing people in the organization or in our country. So again, ma'am, I am Rachel Elguado reporting about the equity and inclusiveness. Thank you.
The seventh characteristic of good governance is effectiveness and efficiency. As planners and overseers, board directors have a responsibility to conduct their duties effectively and efficiently. Effectiveness and efficiency pertain to material resources and time. Any corporation also consider the impact on the environment as they perform their duties and responsibilities. It means that business owners and stockholders need to be efficient and effective. If your resources and time is lacking, your business will surely face bankruptcy. Business owners need to be considered being effective and efficient for them to reach the target demand quantity. You need also to be efficient, to be on time, and to be effective to have a good quality product, even making it in a short time. One example of effectiveness and efficiency is the trend of corporations transitioning from manual paper process to environmentally friendly. Enterprise governance management software solutions such as the integrated suite of tools provided by the governance cloud.
I am Seva. Accountability. Account is often used as a verb meaning to justify or to explain, as in, how do you account for your actions? To be accountable then is to be able to account for one's action, and accountability is the state of being able to account for one's actions. The word accountability is often used in the context of individuals, especially in the term personal accountability. It is also commonly used in the context of institutions or people that are responsible to the public, such as the governments, medias, agencies, and politicians. Accountability is often discussed with transparency and consequences. This typically involves keeping people and organizations accountable by making their actions visible and having consequences when those actions are not acceptable. To build a culture of accountability, you have to start with yourself, communicate specific expectations transparently, create an environment of safety and trust, and make commitments visible to your entire team. Mastering accountability can help you and your team bridge the gap between goals and implementations, improve your performance, and achieve better results and outcomes, and hold people to your commitments in a supportive way without creating stress and fear.
Good day, ma'am. I'm going to discuss the characteristics of good governance, which is the strategic vision. A strategic vision is generally defined as an organization's capacity to establish a mission or purpose, to determine long-term objectives, to make a substantive analysis of its performance relative to its competitors in the industry, and to the economy as a whole, and to set parameters for value and growth. For example, in McDonald's, try to be the best quick service restaurant experience. Being the best means providing outstanding quality, service, cleanliness, and value, so that we make every customer in every restaurant smile. The power of this vision is that it's constructed like a checklist. A strategic vision should guide the voyage of a business. This is important because it will serve as the compass guide the top management and the stakeholders in devising plans and strategies as well as actions required to get a desired future position. This brings us to the end of our presentation on the 9 characteristics of good governance. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your interest and attention.